It's your fear that's blocking you from finding the focus to solve the situation. And doing this why ladder exercise actually helps you realize what you think you're being blocked from. But usually that's right within your control. Nothing is blocking you from that. So if you think about any generation today, they're exposed to athletes, actors, singers, musicians, business people. Nothing wrong with that at all. But if you never really get to the depths of the people behind the people, or if you never get exposed to any other ideas, you start thinking that life is about a finite number of options and a finite number of paths. Our gifts and skills are wasted if they're not used in the service of others. When I was 18 in my life, I'd met people who were rich, I'd met people who were famous, I'd met people who were beautiful, I'd met people who were strong and powerful, but I don't know if I'd met anyone who was truly happy and content. And I've started to feel that that may be looking for that deep meaning and purpose in life, may be actually the path that I haven't yet trodden. So that's kind of how that whole journey began. If you don't experience compassion, you won't really believe it exists. And the only way you experience compassion is if you sit in the presence of someone who has unlimited compassion. And so I feel like when you're growing up, you're surrounded by people who have an addiction to wealth, or you're surrounded by people who have an addiction to laziness, or you're surrounded by people who have an obsession or an absorption with status and power. And so all you're experiencing is that experience. And it's that belief that, the energy is contained in someone's presence and the way they live their life, even without opening their mouth or ever saying anything. What the world has experienced in the last 5 to 6 months is such an extreme test of tolerance and our ability to be resilient and ability to overcome fear, that if anyone feels that they have not held it together, they shouldn't judge themselves. Because it's almost like you can't take the hardest test of all time and expect to come out passing flying colors without any preparation beforehand. And so if anything, what should happen for us, instead of feeling guilty and sad about not responding in a perfect way, whatever that is, we should actually feel encouraged that now is the time to go inward, that now is the time to build up those skills, that we should become prepared when we least expect it, because who knows what is out there. And so the preparation, it's almost like the fighter doesn't go out on the battlefield and hope that they have the skills. They train every single day so that when the battle appears, that they're ready. What's happened in all of our lives is we've had zero training and zero preparation, and all of a sudden you're thrown into this battlefield. And of course, none of us can completely hold it together. So for me, I see it as more of a wake-up call and a cry to all of us to say, please use your time to feel prepared, to feel ready, to grow and invest in yourself so that next time, no matter what it is that comes our way, that you're prepared and you have the quality to stay still. Is that the first thing that fear does is it should hopefully connect you to wanting to build up the skills to deal with that fear. But actually, a lot of our responses, as we know through psychology, and I talk about them in the book, a lot of our responses are we freeze, we get stuck, right? We go, okay, I'm stuck. Or we run away. We run away and we try and avoid these issues. Or we bury ourselves and we try and forget about them. And so our responses to fear, what we don't realize, create more fear. Because you only become more fearful about something the less you know about it. Because the less you know about it means there's more unknown. Why do we fear the darkness? Because it's unknown. Why do we fear what's beyond our solar system? Because we don't know. It's when we don't know that we're in fear. If you are playing a team in another sport and you don't know their strengths, you'll feel fearful. If you're about to walk into a tourist destination and you don't know the ins and outs of it, you'll feel fear because it's an unknown place. So it's crazy to me that we remain in a state of unknowingness in our own lives and emotions because we feel scared of actually getting intimate with our fear. We get scared of being present and close to our fear. And that's why we try and put fear to the back of our minds. We try and run away from it. So the first thing to do is when you feel that there's something that you're scared of or upset about, a common example is how we all avoid conflict. No one likes tough conversation. And what I started to do was, rather than try and run away from tough conversations and try and find excuses and answers, but I need to get close to my fear. When you have a fear response, instead of running away from it or trying to figure out how to get away from it or avoid it, ask yourself, what am I truly fearful of? Where is this fear coming from? And continue to ask yourself, when you come up with a fear, and I call it the why ladder in the book. So I give the example in the book that, and let's take a more common example. So you may say, I am fearful of COVID. And that's a very normal fear to have, nothing wrong with it. And I think that's the other problem. We think our fears are wrong. So then we don't want to get intimate with them. Why are you afraid of COVID? And you may say, I'm afraid because I might lose my job. And you say, okay, why are you afraid of losing your job? Because I need to pay the bills and I need to take care of my family. Why do you think that paying the bills is what's going to take care of your family and everything else? Because I need to put food on the table. Why do you need to put food on the table? Because I want my family to feel loved and cared for and nourished. Why do you want your family to feel loved and cared for and nourished? Because I love them. And then you realize, wait a minute, what they're really looking for is love. And if I can, even in this pain, choose to give them love, then I'm actually giving them what they need. And now I'll find all the ways to make the money, figure out my business, get food on the table and do that. But if I really realize that what I'm scared of is that COVID is going to stop me from giving love to my family. And that's actually not true. You can give love to your family. And then hopefully in that stress-free of letting go of that, you actually give yourself the energy to go and figure out the other stuff. It's your fear that's blocking you from finding the focus to solve the situation. And doing this why ladder exercise actually helps you realize what you think you're being blocked from. But usually that's right within your control. Nothing is blocking you from that. And it's like, imagine you were growing a plant and you kept watering the leaf and you kept trimming the leaf and making the leaf perfect. Tomorrow, the wind's going to come across, blow that leaf off, and because you forgot to water the root, even the tree or the plant could fall over. But if you focused on watering the root of the tree every day, each leaf is going to have the exact nutrients that it needs. And so our mind and our lives are like that because we keep trying to solve the next drama, we keep trying to solve the next issue, we keep trying to solve the next problem, that we're distracted from the root of the issue. And the why ladder forces you to go to the root of the issue and deal with that. Like you said, really, I'm scared of dying because I haven't really done what I want to do. And yes, that's hard to face. But if you never face it, it continues to haunt you in the background.